Yeah, we are here again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful Sunday. We are here again. I hope we had a nice time today. For those of us that went to church, hope we had a nice time in church. For me, I traveled and it was not easy. I had an hectic time trying to settle in as quickly as possible so that I'll be here. So I welcome every one of you. I want us to give me a minute or two so that I can get others to join us. I just want to send a little note to other people that are supposed to be here so they can join us. Meanwhile, if you have joined us, please put in the comments where your name and where you are watching from. I would like to know your name and where you are watching from. So while we are wait for other people to join us, let's do that. So just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay, so let's begin. I want to appreciate those of us that are already here. Please, I want you to put your name in the comment section and where you are watching from. It's very important. I just want to see how many people have joined us and just to have an idea of those who have joined us. Yeah, so we have Samuel joining us from Kwara State, Dr. Ifoma joining us from Port Harcourt. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of this. You know, the situation of the country has leveled everyone up. So more like everyone is almost at the same level now. There is no special treatment because what the rich is suffering is also what the poor is suffering. And I've taken it upon myself to help members of my group come out of this. I can't stand it where I introduce a program, something that is as little as 500 naira, 1,000 naira, and people cannot afford it. They want to get it, but they cannot afford it. It's quite painful. And that is the main reason why I've decided to do this series of training to help you. Of course, these are things that I've applied over the years and I've gotten maximum result from it. Everything I'm going to teach you are all things that I've practiced and I've seen results. So I'm not teaching you what I've not practiced. I'm not teaching you theory. I'm teaching you practical things that I've practiced and I've seen the results. And I want to show you how I did it so you can also do it. And I'm not charging you anything. It's totally free of charge. So all you need to do is just have data to be able to connect. And the videos are out there on YouTube. So you can always go back to them and access them, get the information, then run with it. That's basically what we are going to be doing. So it's very important that you follow me throughout this particular journey we are in. Imagine I'm just coming back from Wolverhampton. We went to start up a church, and I still made it a point of duty to be here, despite the fact that I'm a little bit tired. But I still made it a point of duty to be here, to be able to pass knowledge to you. And I hope that we take this seriously and we are able to practicalize all what you have taught, because it's one thing to for you to get knowledge, it's another thing for you to practice it. Knowledge is flying up and down, but how many people are practicing it? That is the crux of the matter. And I want us to pay close attention as we delve into this. You know, I was discussing with a friend of mine today, and we're just sharing some life experiences. There was a story that he told from the Bible, which I find very relevant today. That's the story of the prophet who died, leaving the wife and two sons in debt. So basically, he didn't have any plans for his family, and he just died without any plan. No plan B, no plan for settlement, and he left debt with them. So the people who he was indebted to came over that they wanted to get their money back or take his two sons as slaves. Women being women, the wife decided to do something about it, went to the prophet Elisha, told the prophet about what was going on, and the prophet asked her a simple question: what do you have in your house? And he said, all I have is just a jar of oil. First lesson: there is always something that you have and you are ignoring. There is something that can generate money for you, but you are ignoring it because you commonize it. You don't see it as anything. Let me give you a point in case, a case in point, sorry. There is this lady that sells Zobo on Instagram. All she does is to sell Zobo on Instagram. How many of us do Zobo? A lot of people do Zobo. She sells those Zobo on Instagram. Not only selling Zobo, she also teach people how to produce Zobo in a healthy way. A lot of people are producing Zobo, but they are not doing it in a healthy way. And this lady is making so much money from that. There are a lot of us here that can do Zobo, but we don't know how to convert it to generate money for us. So the question was, what do you have? Because you cannot make anything out of life if you have nothing. You cannot become successful, you cannot become financially stable if you have nothing in your house. So the first question is, what do you have? And the woman was able to answer that question. The woman said, I have a jar of oil. The prophet said, go and borrow. The woman doesn't have money to buy, of course. He said, go and borrow vessels. Go and borrow vessels. How do you borrow vessels? Go and acquire knowledge about what you have. There are free knowledge everywhere. In fact, you don't need to pay somebody to get knowledge now. You can go on YouTube and search out a few things. Many of the things I have done, many of the businesses I have actually engaged in, I learned it myself on YouTube. I was going to build a website. I just went on YouTube, typed how to do a very good website, and I saw it. I started following it step by step, and I have my website. Many of us have visited my website, and I'm still working on it to make it better. But I got it on YouTube. So the woman went, borrowed vessels, and came back to the house. You know, that's what she did. And the prophet told her, just pour the oil into the vessels. Close your door, pour oil into the vessels. And the woman obeyed. She started pouring oil into all the vessels. And when she poured into the last, the oil in the jug ceased, and there was no more oil. She ran to the prophet and said, now I have oil. What do I do? The prophet said, go and sell the oil, then use the money to pay your debts? What if the woman doesn't know how to sell? What if the woman doesn't know anything about sales? She will still remain poor. So many of us have abundance in our house. Many of us have abundant talents. We can do a lot of stuff. We are so endowed with so much knowledge, so much talent, so much skill, but we are still poor because you have not learned how to convert that miracle that God has done for you into money. And the only way you can do that is by sales. I made a post recently, I think that was yesterday. I said for you to be able to make money in this economic situation that we found ourselves in Nigeria, you must be selling something. You can't just on your own say, I will just be believing in God. Anytime God gives you money, fine. And you're waiting for manna from heaven. No, it doesn't work that way. I was asking myself this question. I asked myself, I said, why didn't Elisha give this woman money? Elisha had the power to bring down money and hand it over to the woman. Why did Elisha package the miracle in form of a product? Why did Elisha package the miracle in form of a product? I hope you are following me. So if you are following me, say yes, I'm following you. I want to be sure that you are following me. I want you to put it in the comments. Say yes, I'm following you. Yes, I'm following you. I want you to put it in the comments. And also want you to subscribe to the channel. Very, very important. You want to get notification on what we are doing, then subscribe to this channel and click on the notification button. If you are watching this now, I want you to subscribe and let's get this message to as many people as possible. The more you subscribe, the more people will see the message and it also benefit them. Of course, it's free of charge. I'm not charging you any penny for it. So all you need to do for me is to subscribe and share if possible to others. Let them view. So let's move on. This is a question I asked myself. What if this woman didn't know how to sell? This woman would have had millions of naira in her house, but she doesn't know how to sell it. So next Sunday, we're going to be talking about businesses you can do to raise money. Simple businesses, simple minor things you can do to raise money, things you can do in your house to raise money. I remember in those days when I was still in Nigeria, I was just starting off my business and all that. I've already gone some distance. There are sometimes I'm in my house and I start getting alert. Before it is 12 o'clock, I've already hit at least 150, sometimes 200. When I was working in the clinic, my full salary was 120,000. That was my whole salary. And despite the fact that I was being paid 120,000, which was a very good salary in those days, was quite good. And I didn't really, it wasn't enough because before the end of the month, the money was gone. And it didn't really, the amount of energy I was putting in, you understand? The amount of energy I was putting in to work was not equal to the money I was being paid. I was basically on duty almost every day because I was the manager and the place had to run. So I discovered that if I put in the same energy that I am putting into this particular job, into my own business, I will make some money out of it and I'll make more money out of it. I'm not discouraging you if you're working as a civil servant or you're working in a company. I'm not discouraging you to leave your job. It worked for me, might not work for you because I suffered for it, leaving your business, you're living a full-time job where you're sure of salary every month to start a business is not a joke. So I paid the price of hunger. So when I'm talking about hardship, financial hardship, I've been through it. Last Sunday, I was telling you that we have actually cooked with firewood in Abuja. There was basically nothing in the house, and we had to eat. and there was no money to buy kerosene or gas. We just gathered some firewood. Thank God that the compound we were the only ones in the compound, so we didn't have neighbors. It was this kind of compound that it's just a flat. The other flat was empty. It was just us. We gathered firewood and we just used it to cook what we had, which was concussion. So if you're talking about financial hardship, I've been there and I've been able to overcome it. That is why I'm qualified to teach you how to overcome it. So I decided that I was going to go into business, and I needed to create a structure for the business. Immediately I was able to create that structure and I kicked off. Immediately I was able to do that. Do you know sometimes in a day I get 2 times my salary? In a day. Sometimes I will be in the house. In fact, I wasn't even going out anymore because all my business were basically online. So in the morning, I will just advertise products on WhatsApp, Facebook, just talk about it and all that. And people will start placing order. And before I can say Jack Robinson, 200, 300K is in my account. I didn't go anywhere. I didn't spend fuel. I didn't burn fuel. I didn't pay transport. I was in my house and I was making that kind of money. So the ultimate goal of this whole training is to get you to start doing something. Don't depend on government money. In fact, there are some people that have not been paid for years. Facts. I have friends in Kogi State, in Benue, that they've not paid them for years. So the ultimate goal of this is to lead you to a point where you can say, okay, I can do this. And it starts generating money for you. That is my goal. If I'm able to achieve that, I am fulfilled. And the reason why I created this would have been met. So, but today we're going to discuss how to manage or how to survive financial hardship. So I'm going to show you a few things you need to do to be able to survive financial hardship and even thrive. So not just surviving, you're surviving and you are thriving. So that's what I want to show you. Then apart from that, next week, I will show you some businesses you can do. I will show you how you can go about it, what you can do, services you can sell, goods you can sell, things you can order and all that. And I'll also show you how to start a business without money. You know, I said it last week and I'm also repeating it again this episode. Most of the goods I sell, I don't use my money to order for them. People pay me, I use their money to order, and I supply to them. Keep the gain. It's as simple as that. It's because I've been able to build trust. If you're not a trustworthy person, don't even try it because you're going to go into debt. If you're not a disciplined person, don't try it. Because when people's money are in your account, there is every temptation for you to dip hand into it. And once you do that, you have lost integrity. And the bad thing is that once integrity is gone, it is gone for life. A client paid me, was supposed to buy a product. Then I was selling biodisc for 20,000. He picked 2 biodisc and was supposed to transfer 40,000 naira to me. And do you know, instead of transferring 40,000 naira to me, he transferred 400,000 naira. And this guy didn't even know because the guy is a big guy in Abuja. He's a very rich man. So 400K is even nothing to him actually, because he's actually a billionaire. And this man didn't even know that he made a mistake. I called him later that when I discovered that there was an error, I called him and I said, sir, you made a mistake. You sent so and so money. Can you send me your account details so I can transfer the difference to you? He was shocked. He was so amazed that I was the one that called him. You know, normally he's the one that will now start chasing me. There are some people like that. You keep chasing them to get your money back. Maybe you overpaid. And for them to refund your money becomes so difficult. But because of the integrity I have and the business I'm building, I gave him back his money. It is because of this integrity that I've been able to build my business over the years. And people trust me. People give me money and they are not afraid that their money is missing. Even when I run into issues, I'm not able to supply at the time they wanted me to supply. Just simple explanation. And they believe me. They believe me because they trust me. They know that I cannot eat their money. I cannot run away with their money. So if you don't have integrity, what we are talking about is not for you. Just log out of the training and go and sleep. But if you have integrity, then it is you I am addressing. It is you I'm addressing. Because if you have integrity, it is easy for you to survive financial hardship. People trust you. And that is where we are going to. So what is the first thing you need to do to be able to survive or to manage financial hardship? Learn how to create a budget. Learn how to create a budget. Don't be ignorant of how much you are spending every month. Learn how to create a budget. Have a monthly budget of how much you spend. You can start with a figure. You can start with a figure and actually work towards it. Okay, let's say it's a family of 5, and I want to learn, I want to do a budget. I can start by saying, okay, I put 100,000 naira as the budget for the month, and 100,000 naira is there. We start spending. By the time it's getting towards the end of the month, I can do an evaluation to find out if I overspent or I underspent. So that evaluation can actually tell you, give you a range of how much you spend per month. Some people don't know how much they spend per month because this month they can buy something worth 100,000. Next month they can buy something worth 10 naira. So they don't have a budget for the month. They don't know how much they spend in a month. The first thing you need to do is to create a budget for yourself. Tell yourself, I want to spend at least 200K if you have the means, or 50,000 in a month, and you work towards it. So how do I achieve my budget? How do I achieve my goal? What do I do to make sure I achieve this goal? So once you have set a budget, it's easy for you to create goals around it. You have a budget, it's easy for you to say, okay, I don't need to get this, I don't need to get this, I need to get, these are the things I need to get. So creating a budget helps you to buy things in bulk. And what I have discovered is when you buy things in bulk, it's cheaper. That's just the truth. If you buy things in bulk, it's cheaper than if you are buying one. Let's say semo, for example. How much is 100 kg of semo now? I don't know. The last time, as the time I was about leaving Nigeria, it was 700 naira. That was last year. So, but how much is it now? If you know the price, please put it in the comments. I don't know how much now, but how much is a small bag of semo? Let's say 100 kg or 200 kg. How much is it now? So let's say the 200 kg. Let's say the 200 kg or the 100 kg now, because 200 kg is above 1,000 naira, I think. So let's say the 200 kg is 700 naira, and the 10 kg is 6,000 naira, 5,000 naira. You know, you can actually have so many 100 kgs inside the 10 kg. So it is cheaper for you to buy 10 kg than for you to buy 100 kg. I know it's it seems more economical in the short term when you are buying small 700 naira, 1,000 naira. So nobody knows the price of semo. Nobody has responded. Nobody knows the price of semo. Where are the women? Dr. Ifoma and Mrs. Seshet, Reverend Mrs. Seshet. What is the price of semo in the market? Lovinda Johnson too. What's the price of semo in the market? Of course, this is a discussion, so I don't want it to be a one-way traffic. So what's the price of semo? How much are we buying it now? So let me continue with my analogy. Uh, you discover that it is more economical to buy the bigger size than to buy the smaller size. Okay, okay, you don't eat semo. Do you eat pando? Do you eat? Okay, okay. 10 kg is 7,000. So how much is 100 kg? 100 grams, sorry, not 100 kg now, 100 grams or 1 kg. I think it's 1 kg though. I think it's a 1 kg, 2 kg, and 10 kg. I think so. Yeah, I'm right. So how much is 1 kg? I know 1 kg is more than 700. I'm so sure of that. So let's say 1 kg is 800 or 900. 10 kg is 7,000. So it means that if you want to calculate 1 kg into 10 places, that will give you 9,000 naira. That will give you 9,000 naira or 8,000 naira, depending on the price, or even 10,000 naira if it's up to 1,000 naira per kg now. That's 10,000 naira. But you will save 3,000 naira if you buy 10 kg. You save 3,000 naira. And 10 kg will last you longer, because for a family of, let's say, 4, you can't 1 kg basically will not be enough for you. Yeah, it will not be enough. But if you have 10 kg, it will last you longer and you save more. So creating a budget will help you look for ways to save more money. If you don't have budget, I want you to start it today. Start creating a budget for how much you spend. Then the second thing you need to do is save small money every week. I remember when I was in Nigeria, I used to do this a lot. I had this piggy vest. Piggy vest. I'm not advertising them, and I have no business with them. But I was using them at that point. So I tell myself, okay, every week I'll save 1,000 naira. Look at the magic. If I decide that every week I will put aside 1,000 naira, in 1 month I have 4,000 naira. In 1 year I have 208,000 naira. In 1 year. And if I'm putting aside 2,000 naira every week, in 1 year, I have 418,000 naira. You know, this is very, very significant. Putting aside small money every week is very significant, so that it becomes an emergency fund when you don't have cash. Imagine that you've gotten to a point where there is no money anywhere. You have asked your friends and nobody can loan you money. Then you discover that you have been saving 1,000 naira every week. And you go there, you are seeing 200 and something thousand. Imagine the joy you're going to feel. So develop the habit of putting aside money. You can get this colo, we call it colo, or this saver, piggy, whatever. You know what I'm talking about now. So just get a carpenter to create one for you, and you get 1,000 naira, drop it inside. Any careless money, you drop it inside. I know now, because of the hardship, there's no careless money. Every money is carefully spent. But you know, some people still have careless money. Maybe somebody dashed you money, or one money just entered the account that you didn't budget for. You understand? You just put it there. So, but basically make a decision that every week I'm going to be putting 1,000 naira aside, either in one of these online apps like the Piggyverse, because for Piggyverse, they will give you small interest, no matter how small it is, but they give you interest. So that's basically how you can be putting money aside, so that on the raining day, or in the raining day, or when there is trouble, there is always money that you can put your hands to collect. That is number 2. Number 3, create more streams of income. Sit down, ask yourself, how can I increase my income? The money that is coming in is so small that I am perpetually in debt. There are some people that are perpetually in debt. They are always in debt. Every time. They are never debt free. They are always owing someone some money somewhere. So how do I create capacity? How do I increase my financial capacity, create more streams of income to be able to raise money? I'm not going to talk so much about this because we're going to discuss it in details next week. So I want you to pay attention and come back next week for that information. Then the fourth point is reduce debt. If it is not necessary, don't borrow money. If it is not necessary, don't borrow money. Don't borrow that money. Let's say because you have an online app and you can always go there to borrow like 20, 30,000 naira. So, and you know that this you want to buy is not necessary. You can do without it. Then don't go into unnecessary debt. Reduce the amount of debt you are in. Reduce the amount of debt you are in. The more debt you go into, the more financial stress manifests in your life. So reduce the amount of debt that you are into. Then if you are owing people, try as much as possible to pay them off as quickly as possible to release the burden, because debt can actually trap you and give you persistent financial hardship. The financial hardship is forever. You can't come out of it except you pay up. So the fifth point is cutting unnecessary expenses. I can't stress this enough. Don't go into the market and buy things that you don't need. Don't go into the market and buy things that you don't need. Go into the market and get things that are needed in the house, things that are necessary. It is very important that you cut down on your expenses. It is very important that you minimize how much you spend on things. If it is not necessary, if you can do without it, cut it off. I can't imagine that you are struggling and you are recharging DSTV for 16,000 naira or 18,000 naira premium subscription, or you are subscribing for 10,000, 8,000, but there is no money for you to eat. It's either you go to a lower option, which is GoTV, or you cut it off entirely. But you need to cut down on unnecessary expenses that are not going to add any value for you. Unnecessary expenses also can be in form of pressure, people putting pressure on you to buy a ashwebi. Maybe a wedding is here and they say you must provide money to buy a ashwebi. So you are under so much pressure. You can go to that wedding with your normal clothes. Nobody's going to cast you away. Nobody is going to crucify you. And the bad thing about it is that for every wedding, the one that comes before that, there's more display of luxury, money, and all that. And everybody forgets the last one. I don't think people that attended my wedding remembers most of the things that happened there. I don't think so. Even those that had bad experiences, maybe rice didn't get to them, or they didn't eat chicken, or they didn't drink, they must have forgotten it and moved on with life. Of course, you cannot be in the present Nigeria and be remembering what happened 12, 13 years ago. You don't have that time. So why are you killing yourself trying to impress people? Why are you killing yourself trying to be somebody that you are not? It is not, you don't have that capacity to live the life that you are living. You are living far above your means because you want people to see it that you are doing well. Let me shock you. Nobody cares. Truly, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares whether you are wearing the most expensive clothes, the most expensive wristwatch, most expensive shoes. Nobody cares. Everybody's busy looking for how to survive. So nobody has the time to look at you and what you are wearing. Why are you living above your means? Why are you spending so much money? Why are you borrowing money to fund your lavish lifestyle? Why are you borrowing money to do that? You must get to a point where your financial your financial capacity tallies with who you are. I have never lived above my means. I have never. In fact, I was too simple that even when I was making serious money, people didn't even believe me. People didn't even see me as somebody who was making anything, because I was as simple as I could be. I wasn't extravagant. I wasn't showing off. I was just living my life, trying to build capacity and do my business. So when I did some things, when I made some powerful moves, a lot of people were shocked. Who gave this guy money to do what he's doing? Because I've learned to live within my means. You must learn to do that. Then the sixth point is learn a new skill. Learn a new skill. The world is changing. The world is no longer the way it used to be. You know, in those days, after when you go to school and come out with your BSc, guarantee you must get a job. If you apply, you must get a job. And if you get a job, at least you might be lucky that you get a very good job that they pay very well. Things are no longer like that. Now, people that are with master's degree are still searching for jobs. Dangote made adverts for a driver, and people with PhD were applying for it. Why? Because you can have academic qualification without a skill. And if you lack a skill, you cannot survive in this economy. The world is moving from the job economy to the skill economy. So gone are the days where if I have an MSc or a PhD, guarantee companies will be looking for me. Gone are those days. Now they're asking you for the skills you have. So what skill do you have? What skill can you add to yourself that you can teach others and make money from it? What skill do you have? Is it talking? Is it IT? If artificial intelligence has started dominating the world now. In fact, there's virtually any field that is in existence that AI is not already dominating. I have done some powerful things, written some powerful materials using AI. In fact, let me give you this secret. If you get a copy of my book, Death in the Pot, you know that's the latest book I wrote, Death in the Pot. Check each chapter. Each chapter has a poem. Each chapter has a poem. Do you know that it was AI that wrote that poem for me? It was AI that wrote the poem for me. So I just told him what to do. I need a poem for this, and boom. Go through the books and look at how beautiful the poems are. There is the main poem, which is Death in a Pot. There's each chapter starts with a poem. Each chapter starts with a poem, and well written, well constructed. In fact, when the editor saw the poem, it was like, this is a master class. This is splendid. This is wonderful. It was AI that did it. So you are in the kind of business I'm doing, or you are running your business, your own business, and you don't know how to leverage AI. You don't know how to leverage it. It's going to put you into serious trouble. I hope that one day I will have the opportunity to teach artificial intelligence, because I've actually done a lot about it. I remember a friend of mine who is into IT. We were discussing about some of this artificial intelligence and how you can make use of it. And I was giving him some points. I'm not into IT. I don't even know what IT is about. But when I was giving him the point, he was shocked. He said, Emmanuel, I need to pay your transport to come to where I am. He's in the UK. To come to where I am to teach me these things you're talking about. So have an open mind. Don't say, computer, I don't know anything about computer. Have an open mind. Learn as much as you can. If I see anything, I just go on Google, learn a few things about it, and I start practicing it. I might make some mistake, but before you know it, I become a professional, and I start doing it professionally. When I started using AI, I was making a lot of mistakes because it wasn't giving me what I was asking it for to give me. But as I'm talking to you now, I'm almost a professor of of ChatGPT, BARD, and all the others. So develop a skill, learn something, no matter how basic it is, learn something. That thing you are learning, you can use it to generate money. And that is what I'm going to teach you within this 1 month. Then the seventh point is learn how to give. Learn how to help others. The more you give, the more you receive. If you don't give, you won't receive. If your hand is like this, you will not receive anything. So sometimes just giving, especially when things are very difficult for you, things are very tight. That last 1,000 naira, that last 500 naira, learn to give it out. I have practiced it and it works wonder. In fact, sometimes somebody will just give you a call and say, please, I just felt that I should just give you money. It is a very powerful principle. You know, as I was discussing this, I just remember the story of, I think it's Elijah, who went to a town and saw a woman, and the woman was picking sticks. He told the woman that she should give him food. The woman said, the food I have is the one that I and my son will eat, then we die, because she had no hope of any other food. What did she do? What did she do? She decided that she wasn't going to give anybody that food. She was just going to eat it, give her son, then they hope for the best, maybe die of starvation or something like that. Elisha said, give me to eat first. Principle, give me to eat first. And she made the cake and gave to Elisha to eat. After Elisha finished eating, there was an abundance in her own house. How does this thing happen? If you give, you will definitely receive. If you give, you definitely receive. See, this thing is so powerful. I don't know how I'm going to explain it, but I'm not preaching, but I'm teaching you real life principle that I've practiced and has given me results. Learn to give, especially when you are at the lowest point of your life. Look for somebody that is at the lowest point of your lowest point. You know, among the poor, there is still the poor. I remember when I was staying when I was in Lagos, because I had to stay with some of my relative in Lagos to write some exams. And I think the place is around Orile Igomu. If you're in Lagos, you know what I'm talking about. Orile Igomu, Amukoko. That is what they call the place, Amukoko. That place is a slum. You know, I had to stay there. Do you know that inside that slum, we still have people that we are seen as rich people? You know, inside that slum, we still have people that had DSTV, still had, if you enter their sitting room, you see that they to some extent, among the poor, they are higher than the poor. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. So among the poor, there is the richer poor. I hope you get what I'm trying to explain. So the point I'm trying to make is this: among people that are around you, there are still people that you are better than, despite the fact that you don't have money. Find out how you can help them. Find out how you can give to them. The more you give to them, the more you get. Because if you do good, you attract good. It's law of attraction. If you do bad, you attract bad. On Twitter, somebody was mocking others on how they were going to suffer because of their preferred candidates. And just recently, he posted that ultimately he has lost everything he has, and he's gone back to square zero and was now begging for help on Twitter. People were laughing at him. because when it was time for him to empathize with others, he didn't. He was bragging. He was insulting them. It is very important for you to learn how to give. It is very important for you to learn how to give. You cannot go far if you cannot give. You cannot go far. There was somebody that wanted to do a training and didn't have the money. I paid for it. I'm not going to benefit from that training, but I was happy that somebody was going to benefit from it. And the training was not cheap. It wasn't cheap. But I paid for it because I didn't pay because I have so much money. I paid because I want to sow. I want somebody to also pay for my own training. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. You give, you receive. If you don't give, you don't receive. Let's move on. The point number 8 is invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Learn how to invest in yourself. You pay people, you don't pay yourself. You pay others. Okay, let's say at the end of the month, you receive salary and your salary is 100,000. So you receive your salary, you pay your tithes, remaining 90,000. You remove 30,000, give it to your wife for upkeep, maybe, or even more than that. And remaining how much? Remaining 60,000 naira now. So out of the 60,000 naira, you do this, family, help this, do that. And before you know what is going on, you are left with 10,000 naira. And that 10,000 naira will carry you to the next month. So you just be guiding it. Do you know in all the expenses, you didn't pay yourself? You didn't pay yourself. You didn't benefit from all the money. You just gave out everything. You paid other people, but you didn't pay yourself. So how do you pay yourself? How do you invest in yourself? You invest in yourself by buying materials that can help you. We have books that can help you learn how to live healthy. You buy those books. You buy those books. I can't count the number of books I have. When I was relocating, my book was almost 2 Ghana must goes. 2 Ghana must go. And I couldn't carry it because it's going to cost me so much to bring them over here. So I just kept it somewhere. So anytime I go to Nigeria, I pick some, bring them. Anytime I go, I go until I bring all my books down here. But I had a full library of books, materials on different topics that can help me. From health, even as a health professional, I still buy books on health. I have Hallelujah Diet. I have Eat Right for your blood type. I had to buy the book. Not that I believe in almost everything the man said, but at least I had to buy it to have an idea of what the man was saying. I have it growing old but looking young. Different topics, different books on health. So if you see any opportunity that can better your health, that can better your life, grab it with 2 hands. Is it a course? Is it a training? Is it a book? Dedicate that money you are paying. It's an investment. Don't see it as an expense. I was very happy when I saw people paying for way bill. Some people paid as much as 4,000 naira to buy a book of 5,000 or 3,500, depending on when they bought it. And they paid as much as 4,000 naira. What my joy was, they didn't complain. They didn't complain about the amount of money they had to pay to get it delivered to them. They didn't complain about how much they had to spend because they knew that it was an investment. I was so happy when the lady was telling me how much she had to pay for the book to get to her. And she wasn't complaining. She was so grateful that finally she has gotten the book. Invest in yourself. If anything happens to you, you see all those things that are around you, everybody disappears and they go to the next person. It is what you know and what you are doing that can carry you in the day of adversity, in the day of hardship. It is the amount of knowledge you have. I posted something on the group, that was yesterday. When I relocated, I think some of these things we need to learn. That's why I'm trying to buttress it, because I didn't actually want to spend this long amount of time, but at least it's something that will benefit us. So let's go. I relocated and And for 1 month, I could not do anything. I could not work. I could not do anything because my son was not in school and I can't leave him in the house. The person I was staying with was working, could not take care of my son. So I had to remain in the house with my son. My wife was going to school and she was in another city. For 1 month, I could not do anything. I was just in the house. And bills were coming. So expenses. I had to spend money. You know what it means converting naira to pounds? It's dangerous. So how am I going to raise money? I just created a course. I just sat down. What do people want? I started listing those things. And I just created a course. I created the course, I launched it. People were so interested in it. Group members were so, I like this course, I want to buy it. And they were buying, I think the course was 2,500. It wasn't even expensive. 2,500 and all that. Started marketing, started posting on Facebook, started talking about it. Do you know within 48 hours, I had close to 300K in my account from zero. What does it take to create a course? It doesn't take anything. And it was even a paper course, a written course. It's not as if it's a video course. I didn't have to do all the setup of video and all that. It was just a written course. I just did it Facebook, and I said I created a WhatsApp group, created a WhatsApp group, did the training in WhatsApp. You know how I do my trainings now. Did the training in WhatsApp. People paid for it, and I made a copy of the training and sent it to their emails. And I had money. Converted that money to pounds. I had over 300 something pounds, at least to carry me for some time. So what if I didn't have any skill? What if I've not invested in myself? I've not had enough knowledge. I will be begging. I will be calling people, telling, please give me £100 now. Please give me £100. I beg, give me £50 now. And you just came to the UK already becoming a burden to everybody. So don't be that person that people will see your call. When they see your call coming, they just say, leave am. Maybe their husband will bring the phone out. So person is calling, leave am, and money won't beg. What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. That is how some of us has become. So when you call somebody, they don't pick your call. You are calling your friends, they're not picking your call because you are always begging them. Why not challenge yourself and say, I don't want to beg anybody? In fact, I took that challenge and it has helped me. I remember that time. It was from one begging. In fact, there was one time that I went through the contact on my phone, over 1,000 contacts. Nobody could give me 5,000 naira. If you call this person, I just spent money yesterday. Different excuses. That day, I deleted all their numbers. I detoxified my phone and started looking for healthy, more valuable contacts to get. And that was the day I decided that I want to better myself. And since that day, money to eat is not a problem. I can sit down and create something and money is there. So develop yourself. Get materials on finances, get materials on health. If I'm advertising anything, don't think I'm wasting my time, or don't think I'm looking for money, because truly the money I'm getting from those products cannot even foot my bills, cannot even pay my rent for a month. But I want people to benefit from it. That is why I keep pushing. I keep pushing. I have other sources of income. I have other things I'm doing that is giving me money. But I still go ahead and launch products and courses that are 1,000 naira, just 1,000 naira, just to get people to pay. Sometimes people look at me and say that, how can you be launching a course 1,000 naira? Is it that you don't want to make money or not? Or what? I don't, it's not money that is my major push. What is my major push is that I want people to share testimonies of how my trainings, my programs has helped them. The ninth point is take care of your health. I'm not going to dwell so much on that because we'll be talking about that. In fact, the whole group and the whole community is about stress management. So I'm not going to say so much about that. Then the last point for tonight is shine your eyes. Shine your eyes. Why did I say shine your eyes? There are opportunities everywhere. Shine your eyes. There are opportunities everywhere. In fact, we were driving. My friend was driving me to Birmingham to get a train down to where I stay, and there's this thing in his car that he was using, and they were just trying to explain it to us. And I said, I'm going to Google about this because I want to see if I can sell it. He was not, he was laughing. He was like, this guy, you have come again with your business sense. Because I'm looking for what to sell. I'm looking for what to sell. I'm shining my eyes. I'm looking out for opportunities. There are things that people need, and it's not available. And a lot of people need it. Okay, let me give you an instance now. Because of this fuel price, do you know somebody constructed gas? How you can use gas in your car? Is thinking and skill. A novice cannot do that. He must have some level of knowledge to be able to do that. That's why I say always read. And the guy is making so much money because people prefer to use gas than to use fuel. It's very, very important. So look out for opportunities, look out for what people need, and supply it to them. A friend was always asking for money. Anytime she calls me, please borrow me money now, please help me do this now. Excuse me. So I now suggested something to her. I said, you live in a community that crayfish is everywhere, in a riverine community. Why not look for money, even if you don't have? I can borrow you. Look for money, get a bag of crayfish and send it to the city, send it to Abuja. A basket of crayfish is 3,000 naira where you are, but in Abuja is 7,000, 8,000 naira. So why not create a WhatsApp group, create a Facebook group, and start advertising your products? Before you know what is happening, people will start calling you. And you will never be hungry. One thing with a little business that you can do is that you can never be hungry. At every point in time, there's 2,000, 3,000 in your hand that you can always use in eating. So you can never go hungry. Shine your eyes. Do things that can bring in income. Don't just sit down and you're waiting for miracles to come. You're waiting for God to drop money in your laps. And you can come and share testimony of how you receive miracle money. No. Check everything that Jesus did to empower people. Check everything that God did, the prophets did in the Bible to empower people. Nobody gave anybody money. The only time that Jesus actually gave somebody money in the Bible was when he told Peter to go and fish to pay tax. So he wasn't empowering Peter. He wanted Peter to do the right thing. And he said, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, give to God what belongs to God. Other than that, God gives you an idea, gives you an opportunity, or shows you something that people are looking for and how to supply it. You supply it, you are in money. Business is exchange of value. You exchange what people need, you give them, and they give you money for it. As simple as that. So we have come to the end of today's class. I want you to, if you announcement before I take some questions, if you have some questions, I will take them. So don't run anywhere, don't go out, don't log out. I'll take your questions. But before I take the questions, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Click on subscribe button. Of course, you're watching it on YouTube, so just click on subscribe button and click on notification so that the message can spread. People can get the video. The video is available online. You can, if you're not able to join us, you can actually go back to the video and it's there forever. I'm not going to delete it. So you can learn and relearn what we shared. Also, send it to people you know that, or you feel that they need it. There are people that are always begging you for one thing or the other. Send the video to them. Then there is a course I introduced called Stress Management for Children. If you are watching this and you have a child between the ages of 7 to 12 or 13, get the course for them. And at the end of the month, by September, 3rd of September, we're going to do a score of the assessment, and we're going to give out 10,000 naira to the first 5 people that score very well. So if you have already bought the course, encourage your child to finish it and write the assessment, then we'll get the money. Debt in the pot is still available for people who have not gotten it. Contact the number on your screen. I'm going to put the number on your screen. So just call the number, or send an SMS or WhatsApp to the number, and you get debt in the pot. So I want to take question in the next 5 minutes, then we'll call it a day. If you have question, put it in the comments, then we'll call it a day. Question, question, question. Drop your question. I'll take questions, then we'll call it a day. Maybe like 1 or 2 questions and we're good to go. So drop your questions, drop your questions. So drop your questions. Yeah, let's keep the questions coming. Okay, so let's check for questions now. Okay, so let me show this to us before we go back. Dr. Ifoma just says, yes, sir, I can relate with what you said. You're saying right now. That's concerning the issue of giving. Absolutely, the principle of giving and receiving cannot be overemphasized. Absolutely true. The Reverend Mrs. Seshet, thanks for that word. Learn to give. It is godly principle. It's a godly principle. You are very correct. Absolutely correct. Yeah, I know that. So, yeah, this is so value loaded. Many thanks. Thank you so much, Teila. It's been a while. So, do you have more questions? If you don't have any question, then we'll call it a day. Any question? What is scrolling on your screen is the number for you to call if you need debt in the pot. You can send an SMS or your WhatsApp to you can send in a WhatsApp or SMS to the number scrolling on your screen. That's 090-314-57411. And Modesta will respond to you, then send a copy of the book to you. Of course, the book is 5,000 naira now, and you will get value for it. So in the absence of questions, thank you so much. Next Sunday, remember, same time, although I'm going to travel for a program in London, but I believe God and I hope that I get back on time. Of course, I will let you know, but hopefully I'll be here by 9 next Sunday to share with you some businesses you can do to generate extra income. Thank you so much and happy Sunday. Have a blessed week ahead. Thank you.